you get that notice? Yes, everyone, it's recording. Yes.
Yep.
I want to keep this really efficient, okay? Because if you're like me, hi Megan, I see you on. Is Katie on also? Katie Vale. I think if not, she'll be on. So if you're like me, you have lots of other things you like to do other than watch a ton of Zooms. So we're going to keep this simple. We're going to keep it pretty focused. This week in Dash to Director and within our team, we want to focus on in to booking. Okay, because what we like to share is to keep it simple and make sure you guys are muting. I don't mute everybody because I'd like you to be, make sure you guys mute yourself so I can't hear you. So we have so much to share, so much training, so many ideas and all these things. But we always want to keep it simple, and we try to stick to the 4 basics within the Connect team, and that is to reach out. That means talk to people, to book parties, because we know the parties are where we get our sales. The parties are where we find our future hostesses, our future reps, and it's how we market our shops. So we reach out, we party, we follow up, and then we recruit or add team members. And so there's so much we can do. And I know we talk about booking. All we have to do is book. We have to book. We just have to book. We have to book, and we have to get those parties. And it's like, I know I want to, but I don't know how, or I'm afraid, or it's not working. And so we're going to just dial into booking this week. So we have this short Zoom tonight, and then Tuesday night at 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to have a power hour or booking blitz. If you've never done one of those before, it's basically like coming to the library in Zoom form. So you're going to come to the Zoom from 8 to 9 Central Standard Time with the gals that want to put in a little work. You can come for 15 minutes. You can come for a half an hour. You can stay for the whole hour. You'll get a couple little tips on how to reach out, but most of the time it's quiet, and it's a place for you to have that accountability and just book and reach out and work. Okay, so we're going to do that on Tuesday night. I did have to edit the schedule, and I'll continue to remind our second power hour and booking blitz has been changed to Wednesday night at 8:00 because well, let's just say that it was my mistake, but we have to please mute yourself. Thank you. Or I will mute you.
Sure.
Let's see, one second. Okay, so we'll have a power hour and booking blitz on Tuesday night at 8:00 and Wednesday night at 8:00, not on Thursday. Okay, and we'll continue to remind about that. And we have a super fun incentive and challenge this week that's going to go along with those as well. All right, but let me go ahead and get started. My name is Jackie Lawrence, and I am super excited to have Carrie and Valerie and Katie and Megan join me tonight. They're going to be sharing their best booking practice of late, or maybe some verbiage, or maybe a booking tip, or something that has worked for them. These 4 women have booked their calendars during a time that I hear so many people, which is not uncommon, say it's so hard and I can't get any parties, and no one will book a party. People are booking parties, you guys. People really are. But I understand that sometimes we don't know how to do it, or sometimes we forget how to do it, or we just can't get started. So I want to just talk about a couple things. First of all, I have some notes to keep me on track. I'm going to chat just for a second, Carrie, before I turn it over to you, okay? First of all, when we talk about booking parties, we want to book parties, we want to book parties. One thing that I suggest right from the get-go is decide, why do you want to book a party? Because it's hard to do the work if you don't know why you're doing the work. It's hard to do the practice if you're being pulled to the practice. So before you decide, I'm going to dig in and I'm going to book a party, why are you booking a party? It's really important to understand that. Is it because it's super fun and you love being around community and it's a place for you to be creative? Do you want or need your March commission check to be at a certain level? Do you want points for a trip like Punta Cana? Do you see a bigger vision with your Zaya business? You know, in booking parties, you know that you will find more hostesses, you know that you will have more sales, you know that you will find your future team. Or do you believe, and multiple ones, do you believe that our Zaya products really are worth it? And do you believe that there are women and men and kids, but I'm going to focus on women who will really benefit from our Zaya products, and you want to get that out there. So decide, why am I going to do the work? Because it's hard. It doesn't always feel good, you know, when people don't answer or when they don't say yes. And so decide why, and then we'll move forward on booking. And let's get honest. When we say, and when I say we, I'm talking about me too, because I'm the same. When we say, oh my gosh, I don't have any parties, or I need more parties, or no one's booking parties, let's really sit down, look at our calendar. You can look at a past calendar or the future calendar, and really get honest with ourselves. How much work am I putting into it? Okay. So like, how am I approaching it? I don't have any parties, or no one's booking parties. How hard am I working at it? It doesn't have to be awful, you guys. I've shared this before. My husband and I met as telemarketers way back. Like we're like in the 90s, like when we used to like have the phones, and we used to have to dial and into different time zones and dial. And if someone would yell at us on the phone because we were trying to sell them a credit card, they'd yell at us and click, we'd have to dial again and try again, dial again, try. And the supervisors would walk by to make sure we were dialing or talking. That was hard. This is fun. So this is fun, you guys. I want you to think of it as a fun way of digging in and sharing your business, because again, you have a shop, a boutique, a business, an online store, whatever you think of it as. Get excited about what you have. Decide why you're booking a party before you actually make that list and book a party. Couple other things I want to mention before I turn it over. When I think about booking a party, we have so many examples, and the women here tonight are going to give you examples. We'll follow up with this in our Dash to Director group this week with some written out tips and suggestions from all of you, from all of our reps. You're going to be able to have an opportunity to share. But I'm not big on scripts. I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I can't read the sentences and make it sound like myself. And so I'm not going to give you scripts, but I would like us as women to just help with maybe some different language, maybe a different way of presenting it. And for me, less is more, because I'm an over communicator and I get really excited. And I want to tell everybody all about all the things. And so the best thing for me is to keep it really simple in whatever way that's authentic for you. When you reach out, reaching out means telephone, which is awesome. If you pick up the telephone and call someone, I guarantee you, they're going to have a really hard time telling you no. Really hard time telling you no. If they actually get a ding-a-ling ring and they hear your voice on the other end of the phone and they hear your heart, they're going to have a hard time saying no. Voice messaging through Facebook Messenger or text messaging, like I've said, your voice is powerful. Your voice is how your heart comes out, and they're going to hear that you really do want to run a party with them. But if you can just text it out, type it out, that is awesome too. No matter how you do it, my suggestion is in some way, say, hey, Amy, I've been thinking about you. I am working on scheduling my February and March calendar. I always use language like my business, I'm working, I'm scheduling my calendar, where they know that I'm actually working. Okay, so I'm working on scheduling my calendar for February and March. I thought of you. I would love to run a party with you, get you free and half price Zaya. And to be honest, I really want to meet new people. Somehow keep it super simple. You're thinking of them, you're booking your parties. They'll get free and half price stuff. and you want to meet new people. Somehow you put it together how you want to, but the less you say, the more curiosity that you offer. If you tell them everything, they have so much to say no to. So if you keep it really simple, it allows them to ask you questions. And that is the fun part. And again, here's the telemarketer, the old lady telemarketer. We used to have our flip book objections. You know, no, I don't want that. Oh, I can certainly understand that, sir, but let me point out this. No, I don't have time. I don't either. You know, have the objections. The fun part about questions and objections is you get to solve that problem for them. So before we get started this week in booking, if you want to jump in and book with us, book out that February and March, decide why you want to book a party, but then also be prepared for 3 major objections. I don't have time, I don't have money, and I don't have any friends. You're going to hear one of those, trust me, unless you call them on the telephone. I swear if you call them on the telephone, you guys, you're going to book parties. But if someone says, I don't have time, perfect. Super simple. We just run it for 1 week, 5 days, however you run a party. You and your friends can pop in when it best fits your schedule. I don't have a week. I don't have 5 days. Awesome. How about 3 days? We can do a party in 3 days. That's super fun too. No, I don't have time for 3 days. Oh my gosh, that's awesome because I love doing hour-long Zoom parties. What do you think about a Zoom party with your friends? No, I don't like that either. How about I come over and we could do an in-home party? You have to have options for them, okay? I don't have money. Perfect. I'm going to get you free and half price stuff, okay? I didn't have money when I started Zaya either. I didn't have money before I had Zaya either. I have all of my Zaya because I get it free and half off. I don't have any friends. One of my reps, Karen Anderson, has cracked me up last week during one of our big parties, and someone commented, I don't have any friends. And she came right back and she said, well, that is so funny because I checked your Facebook. I was stalking your Facebook and you actually have 387 friends. I mean, have some humor with it, you guys. Have fun with it, okay? Your future hostesses are going to object because they just don't want to waste your time. They're nervous. They don't want to be that hostess where no friends show up. You know, they don't want to feel like nobody likes them. They don't want to let anyone down. It really comes down to all of that. So when they give you an objection, they really are waiting for you to solve that problem for them. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop because I could talk all night. I'm super excited. I have 4 gals, 4 very busy women that agreed to hop on and share whatever they want to share. We did not go over it, but they have worked and they have booked their calendars. They all are very unique in how they do it. And I think it's awesome that they share. Oh, I'll mute someone. Make sure y'all are muted. I am not shy about saying that. I'm going to introduce Carrie Aarons. If you want to hop on, Carrie, and go ahead and say hello and let us know anything that you would like to when it comes to booking parties. Okay.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for asking me to come on and do this. I love being a part of these Zooms and I love Dash to Director. I have been on Dash to Director watching these trainings since I first started about a year ago. And I have learned so much. And a lot of what I do are things that I have learned from being right here, like you guys are listening to what other people say. So this is not original, though I will give you what I do originally, because I think when Jackie said the part about being your authentic self is extremely important. You know, we can get all kinds of ideas and you can hear different ways of approaching things and thinking about it, but what is going to come off authentically for you and the way you are, because those people that you are reaching out to and that you are following with, they are drawn to you. That's why they're in your VIP group. That's why they are listening in these parties and doing that kind of thing. So for me, it comes down to approaching things as an opportunity, right? I see this as an opportunity in Zaya to be of service to others and to be able to give to others, right? And that's kind of at the heart of who I am and a lot of the things that I do and what drew me to Zaya in the first place. So when I am approaching people about booking a party, it is along the terms of, I would love to have a party for you. It's not, would you book a party with me? I'd really like to have parties. I'm really trying to have these parties. You would really be helping me out. For me, that's a shift in not the way that I approach things. Okay. I love to think, how in the world can I do this? Have us have a ball, have all of us connect and feel uplifted at a time when there are a lot of us who, quite frankly, just need to feel uplifted and connected for any reason, and let's have fun and have this opportunity to get you this half off and this free Zaya. And I think it's going to be a ball. So that is more of the approach I take. And the thing that I like too about presenting it in terms of an opportunity is that I present the opportunity, but I let go of the outcome. Right? I put that in their hands. I let them be the one to feel that sense of control, that one to be the one to say, I am choosing that this is what I would like to do. So I present the opportunity, I let go of the outcome. And every single time I do it, I feel good. And every single time I get a no, I feel good. Why do I feel good? Because I had the courage to offer the opportunity to somebody. And I feel good because I was taught that every no is a maybe. And every single time I hear that no, I hear maybe, maybe. And that was one of the first little nuggets that I got when I came on one of these Dash to Directors. And I hold on to it so tightly. I am planting seeds. You are planting the seed. And quite honestly, that's how I get a lot of my parties. They are originally no's that I planted seeds in, and then the right time comes and I follow up and I bring up the idea that they've ordered something else, right? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. What else is on your wish list? What other things are you looking at that you think you might like to get? And maybe they engage, maybe they don't. If they do, maybe this is the right time to have a party and get some of that stuff for half off. Does this look like it's maybe the right time for you? And then again, I let them answer however they're going to answer. And so I have one woman that just booked next month or this month coming up in February, who said she would book a party with me like a year ago, had a party booked, didn't end up following through, and now is booking again. And she's ready. She ended up losing all of this weight. She is super excited about it. The time is right for her. I want the time to be right for the people I am having parties for. Okay. There are other people that are brand new to me on my Zaya VIP, have just started purchasing things, and they're like, oh, gosh, there are so many things here that I see that I really like. I'm really going to have to take it slowly. And I would jump in and I would just say, or we could just have a party. Take advantage of whatever opportunity presents itself in its own way with different people at different times. I don't think that, at least for me, it's a cookie cutter regiment way of handling it. It's different depending on the person, the time, and the place. And I think it's important for us to read our people, to be genuine, present the opportunity, and let go of the outcome. I also stress with my people who are doing some of those things that Jackie was saying, oh, I don't have time, or, oh, I don't know if what if nobody comes, this kind of thing. What I just simply say in all of those situations is I just let them know from my perspective, right? And I say, to me, every single party booked is 100% a success. If there is not a single order on this party, and that's not going to be the case, but if there was not a single order on this party, it would be a success because you did it. You invited friends, they were watching, they accepted. Even if we have, one of those parties where people aren't really participating and they're not commenting, I'm seeing they're watching. They're watching, just like we're told in our VIP groups, right? They're watching you. They might not be buying, they might not be booking parties, they're watching. Okay, so all of those opportunities are planting seeds. And I'm sure the other girls will get into this more, so I'm not going to touch on it too much. But, that idea of the ongoing communication with the people that you are interacting with. Don't have your only communication with them be, would you be interested in booking a party? Right? Because then how is that really coming back to our, I'm here because I really want to connect with you? It doesn't feel like you're there because you really want to connect with them. It feels like you're there because you want them to book a party so that you can get this going. Right? And then it shifts away from being of service to others. A huge reason why I am doing this is to connect with other people. And if that results in lots of parties and lots of orders, great. If it results in lots of people connecting and having a good time on my VIP, great. I am going to present opportunities and I'm going to let go of the outcome. I would say that's probably mine.
Carrie, thank you so much.
Sure.
Like you just fill my cup all the time. Thank you so much. And it's funny because I had in my notes, think about if we're being consistent, or what did I write down? Or if we're just reaching out when it's good for us. Valerie too, that it's really important, you guys, because people know that. I mean, they feel that. Are we consistently reaching out? Are we checking in on them, whether they're buying from us or not? It's kind of like on our team. Do we talk to our team and our reps within our team only when they're selling? People are very aware and they feel it when we're authentic and we connect always, not just when we need or want something. Okay. Thank you so much, Carrie. I so appreciate that. All right, Miss Valerie Carrot, do you want to hop in and share what you'd like to share tonight?
Carrie's a rock star. You covered so many great things. I feel like I'm gonna be extra quick because I'm gonna just, reiterate a lot of what she said. Something I wrote in my notebook after I did Dash to Director the first time were I had to find what would work for me. So and I'm big on self-reflection. So I'm very intentional about asking others, what can I do differently? Help me understand like what would be a better way. And I have a good group of friends that do not hesitate to tell me like, don't do this or this worked great. And that's just in all aspects of my life, not just with Zaya. So I take advantage of that as well. But the three things that really popped out to me, I call them my 3 C's. So connect, consistency, and cut it off, because I'm a talker. And I when I used to reach out to schedule parties or request parties or it was really long and I put way too much information in there. So like Jackie was saying, just keeping it very simple, short and sweet. Very similar message, like Jackie had said, just, hey, reaching out, would love to do a party with you so we can get you some free and half price. Zaya, what are you thinking? I know you love those joggers. Do we need to get you some more joggers? Whatever it may be. So keeping it very simple. So that's my cut it off, because so many messages were so long. And that was some of the feedback I got from one of my friends. She was like, that first message, like it didn't sound like you, which was my second C, that connect. So making sure I really sound like myself. And I never did any of the hey girl messages. But one of my friends told me that like right away, you never say, hey girl, you never do. So please do not ever say that. But she said, And I say all the time, hey friend, I call everybody my friend. So it's even on my door sign out of my house, like, hey friend. She's like, if you're going to say something, say that. But I try to be super intentional about just using people's names so they know I'm really talking to them. They don't think it's just a copy and paste message that I'm sending out. So again, what Carrie and Jackie had said, just really connecting and making sure your messages aren't just the, and I caught this on my own self-reflection. I was doing a booking blitz, like jumping in, like, let's do this. I went to go send a message and I'm like, the last time I connected with this person was to ask them to let's do a party. And it was kind of a yucky feeling. So I was like, didn't send it, reevaluated, like make some other connections with this person before you're asking them again. So that was something that I caught about myself. Like I really have to connect with people instead of just asking them to host a party. And then that consistency. So that follow-up, just like Carrie and Jackie said, is so important. I had a very, kind of dry December, January, one party in each of those. Did a little booking blitz with Nikki and Amy. I think Amy's on here. I don't want to say maybe a month ago, a few weeks ago, and sent a bunch out and got a few. So I got about 6 parties from that. So that was great. And then a lot of those, the consistency, I was following up with some of them last week. And I got 7 just in 1 week, just from being consistent with my follow-up and connecting with people. So for having like a really kind of slow December, January, I'm feeling super excited about, February and March. So things are looking up. So staying consistent also, because those times are going to come where there's just not a lot, and you have to kind of rely heavily on your VIP group and those orders. So consistency, connect, and for me, cut it off so I don't talk too much. That's what I got.
Oh, I love that. And cut it off. I need to remember that as well. When I started, man, we learn more and we do so much better the more we know, right? But when I started, oh my gosh, my messages were all about the history of Zaya and the founders and the pillars, and all the categories and all the things. And God bless anyone that booked a party with me then. But yes, I agree. And two, something that you mentioned, Valerie, made me think of this. We hear about we fill our funnels, that's in a lot of trainings, our funnels are full. We talk to a lot of people, we party, we book, we have referrals. So our funnels are full. And then, everything sifts out, as we then run those parties and do the things, and then our funnel becomes empty. So we need that time to refill our funnel. And how I've always thought about it is, again, just like both of you mentioned, if you're only reaching out when you want that party, it's so specific and it's not of service. And if you think about just going to get a party, I need a party, or I need this, or I need that, it's just it doesn't feel as good. And so I suggest thinking of it when we are looking to reach out to different people, it's just reaching out all the time. It's not because my calendar's empty. It's not because I don't have parties. And Zaya has taught me how to do that in life. Gosh, I haven't reached out to this friend, or I haven't reached out to that cousin, or I haven't reached out, what, I'm going to send some cards, or I'm going to sit down, I'm going to send some voice messages. We're imperfect, we're busy, we have a life. And so that's normal that we don't do that all the time, but we can stop and think about it and then do those reach outs. It's the same thing with booking parties. And when we cast that big net all the time and we toss it out and see what comes back, it's so much more bountiful than just sitting there with one fishing rod all day long, waiting for one person to say yes before moving on to another one. So thank you very much, Valerie, for that. Cut it off. I have added that. Okay, Miss Katie, I think, was next, unless Megan, I know Megan, you have a birthday. So you're good. You're good. Okay, so Katie's next. If Katie wants,
she went to bed already.
Oh, she did. Okay. Mama Megan had a 7-year-old little birthday girl in her house tonight, and she's still sharing with us. But Katie, I would love to hear what you would like to share.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much more there's to say. You guys have
It always sounds
covered.
different. It always sounds different from someone different. So
Right. Yeah, you guys have
whatever
covered so
is
much. So I will definitely keep it short because there's not as much to cover. But I think what works best for my business and for me is I'm very, as we talked about consistency, that is something I'm very consistent and very routine. And I think that's part of my nursing background and being very type A. Hi, Megan. And I think there's a lot to say about the fortune and the follow up. I know we always say follow up, follow up, follow up. So from day one, I've been using those. I'm a pen and paper girl. I've been using those follow up forms. I write down which party it was. Oops. Sorry, guys. I tried to get that chat to move away and now I lost you guys.
we can hear you.
I know, I just can't see you. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. People were texting. So fortune in that follow-up. So when I do my follow-ups, I write, what they ordered, when they ordered, whose party it was, and what items they ordered. So when I can do my follow-up messages, I always do a voice message through Messenger. And I, thank them for their order. I make sure that everything fits okay. And I say, hey, how's that red bomber bra? Like I really specify it and try to make it personal so I can connect with them. That's also a time where if they haven't, I like to invite them to join my VIP page. And then I kind of wait and see what their response is, about how their items were. I don't want to just like jump right into asking about the party. So sometimes they respond right away. Sometimes it's a couple of days. And then, most of the time, usually, hopefully, they love their items. They don't have any issues. If we need to do any exchanges or returns, I help with that process and make it real seamless for them. Try to offer, wonderful customer service. So they'll shop with me again. And then that's when I, we'll discuss hosting a party. And, they've been in that party and realize that this is pretty easy. This is pretty relaxed. It's fun. And that's usually how I get most of my parties are from our other parties and with my follow-ups. I feel like that's been really successful for me. I need to work on my March. And so hopefully with booking blitzes this week, I can fill up March a little bit. But like Jackie said, when you put in the work, you put in the effort, you put in the time, it does pay off. A lot of no's does equal a yes. And not to get discouraged. But I definitely think making it personal and not just kind of cold messaging has really, really helped a lot. And I like doing the voice messages because I think that definitely gives that personal touch. And I like that idea of picking up the phone and calling. I think I'm going to start trying that.
Trust me. I used to have to do it. I was in a direct sales business. If you don't know, I had a daycare in my home over the span of 25 years. But before that, or during that time, I worked with another direct sales business, and some of you did as well. And we didn't have Facebook, and we didn't have social media. And so we picked up the phone and we called people. And it really works. So just try that.
Like my mom's age group, like
oh, yeah.
She doesn't do Facebook. I mean, if I called up some of her friends, they would be all over it if it didn't need to be through Facebook.
And they feel special. They do feel special. And also, before I turn it over to you, Megan, one thing I thought of, Katie, when you were talking about putting in the work, it made me think of, for those of us that are always thinking about booking and thinking about parties and thinking about finding hostesses, it feels like we're working a lot. It feels like, because our mind is working, so we feel tired and we feel like we're working more than we physically might be. Can't speak for everybody, but I'm just saying in general. So when you sit down with a time frame like a booking blitz or a power hour, like I said, it's just committing to coming into like a Zoom, like going to the library. Like some of us, we used to go to the library, there's no distractions. We're just gonna put in a little work, whether that's 15 minutes, half hour, however long you can stay, and that's it. And it feels so good. And if we don't have booking blitzes going on, you can block out that time. I do that. I have to turn off all my notifications, do not disturb, and I just work. Because otherwise I feel like I'm working all the time. I'm not really, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you brought that up too, Katie. All right, Miss Megan, we would love to hear from you before we wrap it up tonight.
Perfect. Thank you, Jackie. I am Megan Pick, and I just celebrated my 1 year on the 25th, so I'm super excited about that. But I am underneath Katie. I'm her downline, and I kind of follow the same path that she does. I have my follow-up sheet. I have my checks. One of the things that I've done that I have done ever since I sold my first item as a rep is I hand write a thank you note to all of my customers on their very first purchase. So whether it's in a party, whether it's on a VIP or whatever, I just get a bunch of notes from the dollar store and stamps, and I use it as a tax write-off, and I write them a handwritten note. I feel like those are kind of few and far between these days. And so I try to do that, try to build a connection right there already. I the other day in a party reached out and was like, I'm not happy. I don't like my blah, blah, blah. Like, and I said, okay, let's fix this. Like, let's find you something that you like. And then at the end of our conversation, I said, ignore the handwritten letter that I put in the mail today. Said, I'm really glad that we're going to find you something that you like. And so she kind of laughed and we had a connection there. And I really, really, really try to do that relationship piece. I mean, I have a couple of clients that live in Vegas that I've never met, but I know more about them than I know about some people, you know, I went to high school with, or neighbors down the street, different things like that, just because I continually talking to them and I have that connection. And some of them have hosted 2 parties for me already within the year. So I think that's huge. I think it was Aubrey the other day on Dash to Directors, maybe last week, where she was like, I am such a girl person. Girl, what's up? Was that Aubrey? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I think it was Aubrey. She cracked me up. I so badly want to be a girl person, but I'm not. But I try to reach out. Hey, how you doing? You know, like I noticed that you guys went out the other night. Like you didn't have your kids. Like I'm jealous of that. You know, just different conversations like that. Just kind of like the small talk. Like before I'm going to swoop a couple people that I've written down that I'm like, ask in 3 weeks. I make little notes about it just so I can come back around and ask them, but I don't want to do that right off the bat. So, and I'm one of those people who, instead of Facebook messaging, I text on their phones because feel like sometimes people see that text message before they see a Facebook message. I need to get better at the voice messaging. I did do that for a while, and then I kind of like trickled off because I feel like I always have background noise behind me with a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old now. And I don't know how professional that is. I guess that's real life, you know, that I have kids and I post my kids all the time on my VIP page and stuff. But I have too, Carrie, gotten really good about not caring so much about the outcome, what's to come. It's more me out of my comfort shell a little bit on the asking part. So that is really good advice there. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it goes hand in hand, but the relationship building and the following through is huge. People really appreciate that. People really appreciate handwritten notes too. So
Yes, they do. And Megan, I'm so proud of you for doing that, because that takes work. I mean, that takes work to write the handwritten notes, and that not only makes them feel good, it makes you stand out. It's like any business. If I get a handwritten note card or note, or hey, we haven't seen you in the office for a while, even if I know that's part of their system, it still makes me feel good. And, you know, we're so used to having everything on our phone and seeing a text, something in the mail. Like, I love the mail. I hear the mailman coming down the street. I've always been that girl. Like, I love mail. And so I like to get mail. So that's really good. Another thing that I did think of when you mentioned, I know you don't do this, but when you mention making small talk, like, hey, I saw you going out, like, that is awesome. And I'm not freezing, am I? My computer freezes sometimes. One thing that I always mention that was a turnoff for me, since we're just discussing, is any time that I had a friend or family member that I wouldn't talk to for a while, and then out of the blue, I would get a message, hey girl, all the things. Hey girl, how are you? How's Dave? How are the boys? What's going on? And this and this and this and this and this. Oh, hey, we're having a special and a sale. Would you like me to send you some samples? It's like, oh, that does not feel good. So I love how you make the notes, because there's no way we can remember what's going on in everyone's life. And to make the notes to remember how to connect with them personally is so important. And it just made me just kind of and an aside, just to mention one thing that I noticed that I didn't like other direct sales friends and family members doing, is they would get in touch with me once every 3 months. I think that was when their quarter thing ended, and they always had a lot to ask me about and a lot to tell me about, and then they had to mention the sale. So again, it's that ongoing communication that's so good. And you mentioned chatting in text. I do that as well. I actually will send a voice message in Facebook Messenger, but then I'll also in their text message say, hey, Amy, I'm not sure if you've been on Facebook lately, but I left you a message. I would love for you to take a listen. Something simple like that. So they see it both in text message and Facebook. Because if I'm going to put in the work, I want a result if possible. So if I'm going to send a message, I'm going to just let them know, hey, I sent you a message. I don't do that every time, but if it's someone that, I feel like I've been trying to connect with and we're missing each other, and I'm thinking, did they open it? Did they see it? Are they, I'll just kind of say, hey, I sent you something in Facebook Messenger. Go ahead and take a listen. And that way I make sure that they kind of see it in both places. But we will wrap up here with one last thing. A couple of you actually mentioned detaching yourself from those results. Carrie, you did in the very beginning, really finding, I think it was Blair Sells that mentioned, she had referenced another study, but it was finding freedom in that ask. Finding freedom in the ask, having that power. It's very powerful to be able to offer something to someone, and being able to remove yourself from the outcome or the results, because you're not offering it to get something. You are offering it to give. And so when we think of it that way, it feels so much better. Like I physically have goosebumps when I think of it like that. And so we will be sharing this week a couple tips, verbiage. Stay tuned tonight. When I post the recording of this Zoom, there will also be a fun little incentive that you all and every rep in Dash to Director within the Connect group can participate in. So I'll post that there. We will also share things as a reminder, who do I reach out to? Your Facebook friends, all of them, because they're not on Facebook naked. They all wear clothes. So don't prejudge. It's all of them. It's all of them. The Franks list is out there. There's a couple trainings on it. The Franks list is an easy way to jar your memory. Friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, anyone connected to your kids. My favorite is not on the Franks list, and it's referrals. Hey, Amy, is there anyone that you think that might like Zaya? Is there anyone that that wears athletic wear? Is there anyone that you could introduce me to? I would love to meet new people. I would love to be able to introduce myself to anyone that works out. I would love to be able to introduce myself to anyone that loves to support small business. I would love to introduce myself to your friends. Anyway, it doesn't have to be just them. You can ask for referrals in so many different ways. And that's about it. We could go on and on forever, right? But we want to keep this as focused as possible on booking. Tomorrow night, 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, Katie Vale, rock star this week, she's going to lead us in a Booking Blitz Power Hour. They're similar, they're the same, they might be a little bit different. It's going to be an hour of designated focus time with other reps. Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, Stacy Wolf is going to lead us in that. And there's going to be a couple of fun challenges and incentives this week too. But we're going to stay focused on booking those parties. Again, tomorrow is the big announcement. I say this without knowing anything. So there's a big announcement coming from Zaya Active tomorrow, February 1st on their anniversary. So tune into that live or catch the recording. If you have any questions, I did want to answer, was it Cindy? You asked how I turned off my notifications. I'll show you can you see in my, I don't know if you can see this. When I go to settings in my phone, I actually do this all the time because even if I turned it on Do Not Disturb, I still get notifications. And I'll just show you this. So there's all of my apps and things like that. And you actually, if you touch Facebook, you can turn off the notifications, touch Messenger, turn off the notifications, turn off your phone, turn off your text. I actually turn off my notifications. You could turn your phone off, but I don't know why I don't. Just turn off my notifications. But you could turn your phone off or put your phone in the other room. But when I do that work, I get really distracted and I just need to do that work. So that's what I do. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what's announced tomorrow either, Amy. And no, I have not seen that 1990 video, but I'm sure I fit the bill, whatever it's called. So you can send that to me. Any questions before we go though? We can open it up to questions if anyone has questions. Happy to answer or happy to go through anything. That's what this is for. And if anyone has to jump off, that's fine too. Any questions? You'll have to unmute yourself if you do. And thank you again to Carrie and Valerie and Katie and Megan. They were so sweet, so incredibly helpful. I just absolutely love collaborating with our reps. All right, I think that's it, you guys. No questions. So I will go ahead and post the recording in Dash to Director along with a little fun incentive that you can all take advantage of as well. Plug into the Booking Blitz tomorrow night and Wednesday, or one or the other, or if you want to do your own booking time, it will help you because there will be a fun little incentive that goes along with that, which is really, really cool too. All right. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have fun. Pick up the telephone. Just try it one time. Try it one time. Pick up the telephone. You'll get all nervous and sweaty, but it's fun to talk to people and ask them to help build your business. Right? Right. All right, guys, have a good night.